Well, hello everybody. Pastor Randy here. Welcome to Making It Simple. Always great to be with you. It's a beautiful Thursday. Hope your week is going well so far. We started looking yesterday, just a little intro about goodness. And we left off with, I said there's three different components that I want to look at. So we're going to break these down into some little smaller sections over the next few days. And I want to look today at a good disposition. Now, that's a word we've heard, but we don't use it a lot. It's not one of our common, daily words, just because it's not. We just generally don't talk that way. Our general speech pattern is short words, short answers, and we don't use a lot of these big words. But here it's appropriate because it defines something that's important as it pertains to what goodness is, which is, again, a reflection of a changed heart. We're not talking about being good in the sense that I am attempting to do better. It's about who I am. It's about my character, my personality, my disposition. And so we see this word. Well, it means a state of mind regarding something. It is the prevailing. In other words, it is number one. It is the most important. It has to be recognized tendency, outlook, or character. Now that's a lot of explanation. When we meet someone, when someone meets us, there are certain things that are just instantaneously obvious. Obviously, are cosmetic. What do we look like? What do we sound like? But do we ever stop to think about how we come across? Are we kind? Are we peaceful? Are we joyful? All of those things. What are we filled with goodness? Not just any goodness, but His goodness, because we represent Him, right? As believers. How many people do we know? And this is not a hard litmus test to figure out because we all have an answer to this. How many people do we know that if we had to describe their disposition, in other words, their prevailing character, what we saw all the time, what was their number one thing, it would be that they were cranky or always hard to deal with. It would be that they were negative or always finding that half-empty glass and all the different negative things that we can hear. There are people that we will meet in this life that it absolutely does not matter what good news you give them, they will find something negative to say. For me personally, that's one of my pet peeves. I hate that. It drives me crazy because, again, not everything has to be negative. Yes, there are negative things that exist. That's real, okay? But our spin on it, our understanding of it has a lot to do with how we perceive things. What do we see better? And so the question is, if by chance anyone listening today that's you, always cranky, always hard to get along with, always looking at the negative and everything's terrible. Here's my question. What kind of witness is that? What kind of witness is that if we indeed openly and without any hesitancy, we proclaim Christ? What is that saying? What is our witness like in that? I mean, what we have to understand, friends, and this is where I want the clarity in this part about a good disposition. That is not a good mood. That's two different things. See, a mood is just that. It's kind of like the wind. It comes and goes, and it changes a lot. Because moods change with moments, events, situations. I'm in a good mood because things are going my way. Or I'm in a bad mood because I just had to fight traffic to get to work. Or my kids are arguing. Or my paycheck got cut short. We can find all these different things. But disposition, a good disposition, it's part of our personality. It's part of who we are. And it is an ever-evolving and ever-growing thing the closer we get to Christ, the more that the fruit of the Spirit is allowed to bear things in our life, starting with love and joy and peace and patience and kindness. And now we see it produces goodness. It becomes a part of who we are. A good disposition is not inherited. Okay, we need to understand that. It is living consistently in the love of God. It is understanding, as God loves me, as He pours that into me, that begins to change me internally. I no longer, it is, as we talked about yesterday, the old passing away and the new becoming relevant, the new becoming consistent in our life. It is finding the ability, as God proclaims that we are to do, to love others just as He loves us. In other words, it's becoming someone that others want to be around versus that cantankerous old sourpuss that everybody tries to avoid. A good disposition makes us easy to live with. It draws instead of pushes away. You know, we have the old sayings like a moth is drawn to a flame. Why? Because it's desirous. It brings in whatever. Well, we find things in this life that we're drawn to, things that we enjoy, things that we like. You know, it could be food items, it could be, you know, programs on TV, whatever. And when we think about when we think about how that is a reflection of us, it's not just a reflection of me or you. It's a reflection of Him through me or you. What do others see? Are they drawn to Christ because of you? I think about that a lot. This is not to say that we're going to have every day is going to be perfect and then we're going to be this awesome role model every day, because we're human. We're going to have our moments. We're going to have a flaw. But a good disposition makes us approachable every day. In other words, no matter the circumstance, no matter the situation, those who know you and even those who don't can tell, maybe today's not a good day, but I know that I could still talk to them if I need to. See, we've known, all of us know, and we know some now that are not approachable. Or at least they are questionable, at least. You know, we see them and we're just not sure. Their expressions, their attitude, their demeanor, their disposition, it's just very questionable, or it's clear. Don't bother me, leave me alone. This creates a thought or a wonder. How do I find myself being able to talk to that person? Well, think about that. Turn that around and think about that as a person that is representing Christ. Do we ever want to be seen as that? Our disposition matters, friends. What is the predominant feature? What do people see when they see us? A good disposition. It displays the very characters that we've been talking about. It displays love, joy, peace, kindness, patience, and it makes it clear that all of those are real. They're not just character things in the sense of it's something that I put on. They are part of who I am. And even if my day might not be the best day, my real character, my real disposition will be found in the eyes of others. And that is so important, because when we are seen in the eyes of others in this way, that's a real representation of who Jesus is. And that's what He's called us to be. Good disposition. I hope that this gives you some things to think about, friends. God bless you, Lord willing. I'll be back with you on Monday as we pick up what is a good attitude. And we'll talk about that then. You take care.